All right, wave number 3. We say goodbye to a legend.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm walking out.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Base Coverage. I'm your host, Jamal Clay. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are reacting to ELF Network First Down Mag, their top 50 list, and we're here with the third wave. All right, numbers 30 through 21. We're going to go down the list, talk a little bit about these candidates. Some of the things that are sticking out is we have one position that is the middle child. They are not talked about enough. They are the heart and soul of their position group, and we're going to talk about them a little bit because they deserve it. But this position basically dominated this wave, but let's dive into it. Coming in at 30, we got Malik Stanley, 29, Joachim Christensen, 28, Ken Hike Jr., shout out to the guards, 27, Alexander Milanovic, 26, Evan Jaboa, 25, Lucky Ogbavoin, 24, Dawson Dales, 23, Silas Aceta, shout out to the guards, 22, Paul Seifert, disregard the numbers. I totally messed that up. But anyway, Paul Seifert and then Jonathan Falk and then Saban Bridenback closing out the list. All right. Let's see what we have here. All right. Let's start up top. Malik Stanley, way too low. Way too low. You know, we talk about a player in regards to, you know, number one receiver, X receiver, one of the main scoring options for that Hamburg offense. You know, this offense this past year probably compared to the first few years didn't have maybe the talent as much as it had in the past. But you were talking about someone who was top 5 in yards, top 5 in receptions, played hurt a majority of the season. I think he's a little too low. He should definitely be a little higher, in my opinion. Joshua Christian, the anchor. I'm calling this guy the anchor because he is the best center in the game. We saw what he did when he was on Frankfurt. He comes over to Rhine. He wins his second ELF championship, and he is a big part and the anchor of an offensive line and one of the best offensive lines in the country. So Joachim Christian coming in at 29. Ken Hike Jr., you know, I'm gonna sound like a homer here, but Ken Hike played a big part in, you know, the guards defense. He was someone that a lot of teams threw away from, and you know, the other guy on the other side of the ball, who I'm sure we'll talk about soon, reaped the benefits of those rewards. But Ken Hike definitely great corner, did a lot on special teams too. Appreciate his game. Alexander Milanovic from the Vikings. The Vikings as a whole are a team that just don't get a lot of credit. They're very overlooked in a lot of ways, but he has been the staple on that offensive line. And it's proven. Obviously, he's made the list 2 years in a row. Evans Yeboah, in my firm opinion, Evans Yeboah is ranked a little too high. All right. We're talking about a defense that ranked 9th in the league last year. The production really wasn't as there. Actually, the production was similar to his teammate, Beren, who was ranked lower in the list. And, you know, for someone who was getting a bulk of the potential ever since, you know, Adebawale left, you know, in my opinion, he's just a little too high. Again, I'm not taking anything away from it, or maybe someone needs to explain why he's placed where he is. But in my opinion, I think Yeboah is ranked a little too high, but I do respect this game. He is a top 50 player in the league, but I think this was a little bit of a reach. All right, let's get into the linebackers. This year, the linebacking group was solid all across the board. And we have a group of 4 linebackers here that top the list. We got Lucky Ogbavoin. We got Dawson Dales. We got Paul Seifert. We got Jonathan Falk. Right? These are like the linebackers get the middle child treatment. Like they get no love. Right? We got 3 linebackers and Lucky, Dawson, and Paul, who had 85 plus tackles, all top tacklers on their team. And then we got my man Jonathan Falk. Shout out to the guards, who's a 100 plus tackler. He was the captain of that defense. He was the leader of that defense. He was, you know, the heartbeat, at least, you know, in terms of, you know, tackling machine that he was for that guards defense, which was the best part of that whole offense, excuse me, all that whole team. And you know what? Good for him. He deserves to be on this list. So shout out to Jonathan Falk there. Saving Breidenbach, best tackle in the game. I'm seeing this now. I don't think we'll get another offensive lineman on the list. I'll be very surprised. But Saving Breidenbach, top tackle in the league again, pairing up with John Christian, best center in the league. You know, you get very solidified guy. You get some of the top positions of the offensive line solidified with some of the top talent, and explains why the Rhine Fire were who they were this past year. And then I'll save this guy for last. All right. Silas Nasita. Basically, he was a lot of the production for the Guards offense all year for the most part. All I can say to Silas is thank you. Thank you for coming back, choosing the Guards, you know, to take this final ride with you. We appreciate you. And, you know, obviously, you know, the season was what it was, but thank you for coming to Switzerland, and again, a country I played in, so I have a different type of appreciation for it, and playing with the Guards. And you know, now I welcome you into the Old Man Retirement Club. So Silas Nasita, shout out to you, my friend. So there we got it. You know, a quartet of linebackers. Malik Stanley ranked a little too low, maybe Yeboah ranked a little too high, and then you know we got some of the top talent on the offensive line in this wave. So we'll dive into it a little bit in terms of when the fourth wave comes out, and we'll see who's placed who should be placed where, who's not placed appropriate. But again, thank you guys for tuning in.
Nobody. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Animal.